beautiful weirdos, Charlotte here. Welcome back to Pretty Scary. I look hot, don't I? For those of you that have been following my 31 days of Halloween, then you will have seen from my 100 years of horror that I did Nosferatu. I actually filmed that this morning and I had to wear a bald cap for it, and I had to wear a bald cap for the one I'm doing this afternoon too, which is Freddy Krueger, the one and only. So I thought, what is the point of taking off the bald cap and unblocking my brows when I'm only going to be blocking my brows and put my bald cap back on? If you haven't seen Nosferatu, I will link it somewhere around here, and it will explain to you how to put the bald cap on and how to block the eyebrows out. Freddy doesn't really need much introduction, so I'm going to stick on my horror stories and I'm going to make a start. Oh, and before I do that, don't forget that Edward the Misshapen Bear is somewhere around. Comment down below and tell me where he's hiding and what Halloween costume he's wearing today. And subscribe if you haven't already, then you'll get notified as soon as my Halloween tutorials go up. First you want to take some cotton wool and break it up into lots of wispy pieces. And then pour out some latex. You can draw out the shapes of the scars to give you something to work to if you would prefer to, but I decided just to wing it and do it all freehand. Now I've already previously blocked my eyebrows, so I'm just gluing over some cotton wool with a bit of latex. I just want to build up that kind of angry, Freddy, masculine brow. So just covering those areas with the latex just to sculpt them into shape. Using my spatula to help things along. If you don't have a spatula, you can use a round-ended dinner knife. And I also wanted to make my nose a little bit wider because Freddy Krueger's nose isn't a little dainty female nose like mine. So I just used a little bit of cotton wool at the edges and just sculpted out the shape of Freddy's nose too. This is purely optional and you don't have to do this step if you prefer to just stick to creating the scars. That's no problem at all. I just wanted to make myself look as much as possible like Robert Englund. Now onto Freddy's iconic burn scars. So I'm just tracing out the areas with some latex on a cotton bud and then just sticking those long thin wisps of cotton wool to that area, and then just going over that cotton wool with more latex just to shape it into the raised scars that are so iconic as part of Freddy's look. Now you know how to do the one scar, the rest is just all done exactly the same, so I'm just going to speed through this bit. It does take a little bit of time to do this makeup, but it is really, really easy, and you just have to make sure that the shapes are quite organic and not too symmetrical and, you know, very scar-like. So just be mindful of that and just play around and have fun. You can go along with a reference picture of Freddy if you want to, you know, absolutely duplicate his scar pattern, but you don't really need to. I didn't, and it's a lot easier if you don't. You're kind of making a rod for your own back if you try and copy a scar pattern, but you know, each to their own, and it depends how much time you have and how authentic you want to be, really. Something else I did, which was optional again, is to just add some cotton wool going from my earlobe down to my jawline to make it look like my earlobe is kind of melted into my jawline. Like I said, this is optional, but it's a good idea to make up your ears as well so they match the rest of your face, particularly seeing as you will have a bald head. There's no hair to cover up those ears. idea to get a fedora to wear as part of your costume like Freddy wore in the film, because then you don't have to worry so much about covering the whole head. Now once you're happy with that and it's all dried, you need to take some grease paint in yellow, bright red and deep red, mix them all together and start stippling them over the whole of the area that you've applied the latex and the cotton wool. This will look a little bit odd at first, but bear with me. Kind of looking like a piece of pastrami here. Right, now once you've done that, make sure that you powder the whole area because the grease paint can shift otherwise. And then taking a light flesh toned grease paint, you want to just start painting over the high points of the scars. Now if you use the brush almost to dry, so basically you pick up some of the product and then kind of rub it on the back of your hand so there's not much grease paint on there, you'll find you'll kind of get a dry brushing technique, which is a similar kind of technique that you use when you're painting small models and that kind of thing. So you want to powder over that again, and then taking some of your normal foundation or a pale shade if you've got dark skin, you just want to start painting over those raised scar areas again. You will find that the areas where you've applied the cotton wool will be slightly lighter, which will give you a good idea where the scars are and also give you a bit of a head start. You also want to paint around the eyes. This pink underneath just gives some depth and gives it a little bit of an irritated look. Powder that again and then take a deep brown grease paint and start painting around the eyes to make them look sunken and a little bit knackered. And you can also take the opportunity to paint in some nice frown lines and create a little bit of expression and dimension to the look. Take a deep red and bright red grease paint, mix them together and then start painting in the centre areas of all those scars. Again, this does take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Just gives some extra depth to the look. So you want to paint it in with a small brush and then blend with a clean, fluffier, larger brush. Make some areas darker than others, don't make it look too tidy or too symmetrical. Paint around those eyes too, just to kind of define those a little bit more. Now you can see it's really starting to take shape now with these darker tones. It's all about the colouring with a piece like this. Powder again. It's really important to powder between each layer because not only does it stop the grease from shifting, it will also help to kind of tone everything down into the skin and sort of meld everything together. Alright, now taking a blue and a grey grease paint, just deepen up those areas around the eyes, powder them off, and then mix a little bit of red with that and use that to deepen just some areas of some of the scars, not all of the scars. To finish the look off, I just painted the same colour around the nose and the lips and painted my teeth with some yellow tooth enamel.
One, two, Fred is coming for you.
Right, beauties, this is the finished look. For my costume, I bought a red and black top off eBay. It was really cheap. I thought it was green and red, but unfortunately it wasn't when it arrived. I also bought a mega cheap Freddy glove. This was about £3 off Amazon. It looked really plasticky and cheap when it arrived, so what I did was I painted it black and then dry brushed silver and gold paint over the top to give more of a metallic effect. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Oh, I don't have a blade on my thumb. Please don't forget to comment down below if you spotted Edward the misshapen bear, and if you did spot him, where he was and what Halloween costume he's wearing today. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all watching my 31 days of Halloween. It's been very hard work and there's more to come. So yes, I shall see you all tomorrow. Bye bye, beauts.